So it's in the process of getting ready. We'll be streaming this to an audience as well on YouTube and on Facebook. Does it sound better? Hello? Okay. We're good? All right. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy to welcome you here to the beautiful Baha'i Center in Clearwater, Florida. On behalf of the LSA of the Baha'is of Pinellas County Unincorporated, you are all welcome to this beautiful presentation, a Fireside, First Friday Fireside. So with that being said, this presentation today will explore how the central figures of the Baha'i faith address the challenges associated with the development of fundamentalism and work to revive the concept of one common faith and the essential nature of religion. The discussion will delve into the Baha'i understanding of religion itself, its various types, and its significances. So therefore, the topic today, how to address the challenges in understanding the essence of religion. Now, a quick biopic about the speaker today. Dr. Alex Habib Riazati has been a scientist and strategist at Boeing Defense Integrated Systems for 38 years. He is also a psychotherapist with a PhD in clinical psychology for the past 17 years, with a private practice called Integrative Counseling. He is the founder of the Human in the Making Foundation, a nonprofit organization, and author of 3 volumes of work, Fundamental Verities and Progressive Revelation being their topics. That being said, we welcome Dr. Riazati. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. So we have your whiteboard right here. As you can see, we've written the title. We're just doing a quick sound check. We're good to go? Good. Yep. Good evening. What you say. There is only one way, and that one way is my way. Rest of the ways are either shallow or not true. You see that
lead to imposing a very strict understanding of religion that sometimes turns violent or oppressive.
Religious fundamentalism is a little bit dangerous because whenever I ask, you see, God said it. That means we shut up. That means I'm right. It says what it means what it says. That means don't. So, I think most of you know what is fundamental. My aim is to show you all the Baha'i writings, especially central figures of the Baha'i faith, address fundamentalism. But before I do that, as a psychotherapist, when you are fundamentalists, you feel isolated, you feel alone, you feel not connected. Is that it? And also, you feel guarded. You look at everybody else in a condescending manner. So it has a psychological impact. It has a social impact. Because you as a human being, you have to have a relationship with others. Because to be alive, that means to have a relationship. This is why I give you the commands that are actually confined to a room because of psychological disorder. But they always talk. They talk to themselves. They recall events and they react to it. So the psychologist said, everyone wants relationship. Fundamentalists is a human being. But the vision that he has, or she has, is very confined. Baha'i faith, as you all may know, the vision is oneness of humanity, but unity of humanity. Only if you unpack that, you cannot become a communist. Why? How can you be leader in one but at the same time you consider yourself better than somebody? Think about it. There is a wisdom that Shogi Afandi. Who is Shogi Afandi? Baha'u'llah. There is a wisdom in his statement in Border of Hope that belief in oneness of humanity is a central theme that heaven around which all other principles and ordinances revolve. If you believe in oneness of humanity, you do not belittle yourself, and you do not belittle somebody else. If you believe in oneness of humanity, then religion is just a means, not the end. Please pay attention. Religion is not really for you to glorify. Religion is a means, a vehicle, a tool to accomplish oneness of humanity. If you have such a mindset, then there is a challenge. You have to have a critical mind to evaluate. If somebody asks you, okay, what do you believe in? I say, I'm a Jew. I said, okay. Why? So chosen. That means you are chosen. Rest of them are non-chosen. You see, if you believe in oneness of humanity, then you stop. It's your own belief system, and start examining. Chosen, that means say Christians, you are not worth being alive for human. You see, when they say unity of humankind is a yardstick that you measure everything, it starts with your own belief system. What is that? Sometimes
You can see that sometimes Baha'is state in a way that we are better than others. They're not directly, indirectly.
see, I got honest. You only report me. I do not record you speech because I do not want that at all. Good. Now, no one wants to be better. You are music. You want to be more. What do you have? Somebody comes and says, you are beautiful. There you are. You do not need to compare yourself with somebody else. Because you do not get better than somebody else. Be who you are. And who you are, noble things that you can. Excellent. Baha'u'llah. He says the root of fundamentalism is the ignorance the root of fundamentalism. All know that things are complex. Because you have your only aim is to unravel those potentials. Maslow, he said everybody in this world has one task to become mature enough to unravel his hidden gems. Because every created being has something inside. And when the people do not know their own selves, they start to compare themselves with others. They start to feel less on other people. Maslow said, you are rich. You have something that nobody else possesses, and that value is unique. The one that right now has enormous impact on positive that every human being has a board, and his board or their board is not determined by their religion, is not determined by the race, by the gender. These are all official division. Now, religion.
Religion is a message that comes from God and is renewed with every stage of humanity, humanity's progress.
Very good. You know, God will give you a spiritual person. When they ask someone, what is your name? What is that?
Sunny.
Sunny. Sunny.
Bright.
Right. What religion does? What is the person? What is sunny, sunny, strong, by God? What is your name? Habib. What does it mean? Habib means this is why I use it. If I say Habib is a title of Muhammad, I ask, what does the word religion mean?
The faith you believe in.
Does that
Yeah, the faith that you believe in.
you tell me that people not have faith that you believe they do not have religion?
Sometimes they have religion and faith and they don't realize they have it because they believe in what's good and what's bad, and they know the difference inherently.
See, I'm trying to, you know what does the word religion mean? Comes from a Latin, which means bind. You don't make it so. Go bind. That's it. So I speak a language that I can understand. Don't make the term to be group bound. Anything that binds you was called religious. Religion was a term that, when it is applied to us, it say it one more time, because I forget. So religion means to bind. Unit. So anything that violates unity is not religion. This is one. Another central figure of the Bible. Habib. He says if the religion causes disunity, lack of religion. So everything starts with unity, ends with unity. But how can I be united with you if I'm not united with myself? Yes.
Going back to what Maslow said, that each individual has a gem. When we see that gem in others, we appreciate them. When we see there is gem hidden within us, we appreciate ourselves, and every being has a special value.
Yeah, sure. See, this is why Socrates so wrong. They asked him what is life all about. He says to know thyself. Know thyself. Do you know yourself? Don't say, I am Persian, I am Arab, I am American, I am engineer, I am nurse, I am white. These are not things. What is your true self? If you are hand or what is the biggest thing that you want to do for humanity? Because we cannot say the biggest is only God, giving my God, how to use and God. Also, he said, I'm they are very watchful of their own things. They take care of their own. Sometimes they this is something that should be there. Isn't that right? You might say, well, I will educate my children to be a better servant. But before you yourself are educated, how can you educate somebody else? What does education mean anyway? What does education mean, Sonny? Say something.
Bring darkness to light.
What is that?
Go from darkness to light, like enlightenment.
Okay. From darkness to sunny. That was good. So education doesn't mean degree, right? Remember, sometimes degree can become a veil, hijab. You are graduated from a top university, you feel, I am better. So that means you are not educated. The root of the word Latin of education means draw out. means you have some jewels within you. You have to bring those jewels out that the people can benefit from it. Baha'u'llah, in a tablet called Loh Maqsood. It is available in English also. He says, consider man like a mine full of gems. But in order for those gems to manifest, they need to be educated. What is education? Please pay attention. So, religion means unity. Education means to draw out what you have, which is positive. And if you concentrate on something which is positive, you never exalt yourself above anybody else. Because you do not feel inferior or superior. As a psychologist, inferiority and superiority is actually a symptom of lack of appreciation of your true self. As a psychologist, when you feel you are lower than somebody else, or you are higher than somebody else, then the only person that gets hurt is you. This is why education means first unite yourself with your own self. Education means I have a soul, I have a mind, I have a body. If I create a unity, harmony between body, mind, and the soul, I am very much closer to become authentic. And if you are authentic, then you appreciate unity because you feel unity within your own self. Because if you are not united with your own self, how can you create unity with somebody else? Do you see the value? So religion, ladies and gentlemen, the foremost duty of religion is to create a space, an environment for an individual to become unified with his own self. Because if you are not unified with your own self, the unity of mankind, humankind, is only an idea. Makes sense? So far, so good. So now you have to recognize that Bob, Baha'u'llah, and Abdul Baha, central figures of the Baha'i faith, they have numerous writings about the importance of one knowing his own true self. I recommend highly to read it. He says the source of fear is when you do not know your own true self. The source of dependency is because you do not know your true self. The source of pride is when you do not know your true self. That is one one way to challenge fundamentalism. How? Because then your vision becomes vast. Let your vision be bold, embracing. Doesn't it say that? Lohe dunja. How can your vision be bold, embracing, and you feel you are better? Your religion is better. Your manifestation is better. Jesus is the only way. Well, really? No, 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 no. Now you become a Baha'i, the same mentality carries over. Baha'u'llah is the best. You're fundamentalists. Why? Because who is Baha'u'llah anyway? See, the second question. So the first thing to challenge fundamentalism is to know your own self, true self. Second, who is Baha'u'llah? Is Baha'u'llah an object, a person, or it is a reality? Doesn't, you are a Baha'i. Baha'is, they say, they read a tablet called Birthday Tablet of Baha'u'llah. It is very interesting. He says this Lohe Milad. He says, today is a good day, tonight is a very good night, because that reality that was never born nor shall die is now born. What is he talking about? How can a reality that is eternal in the past, eternal in the future, how can it be born? Think. Some people rather to die, but not to think. Because if they think, their whole structure falls apart. And that is something that the fundamentalists do not want to do. They never think. Why? Thinking, why should they think? I believe everything is okay. Really? Why did God give you intellect then? Why did God give you science, for God's sake? Baha'u'llah again. The finest gift that we have given to humankind is the gift of intellect, khirat. Some people have mind, but not wisdom. Please pay attention. Question everything. If your faith is so shallow that if I ask you several questions, you will start shaking and you say, oh, this Habib is maybe sounds like a bad guy. It's not a sunny, it is a darky. It is a, and if it is sunny, we call it faithful. If it is darky, we call it a covenant breaker. Which covenant? My covenant, not your covenant. You see how the fundamentalism is so thin. Sometimes you even don't recognize whether you're fundamentalist or not. Do you see that? Baha'u'llah, he says, use intellect. What is intellect? Analyze. Understand relationships. Just do not be, yes, mom, yes, sir. No. Now, who is Baha'u'llah? Do the Jew believe in Baha'u'llah? Do Christian, do those who we consider them ungodly, do they believe in Baha'u'llah? All depends on what is the definition of Baha'u'llah. Right? There is a book I highly recommend. The book was written 3,000 years ago, at least. It's called Bhagavad Gita. Do you know Bhagavad Gita? You don't believe in this type of books, so you don't read any of these. That is darky. You only read sunny. Bhagavad Gita, which is attributed to Krishna, he has a chapter, O glory of the most glorious. It is translated as Baha'u'llah. What is Baha'u'llah? That which gives light to everything visible and invisible. Isn't that a better definition of Baha'u'llah than you say, my little Baha'u'llah? Fundamentalism. Muhammad is the only way. Why do you bother with Muhammad? Muhammad was just a vehicle. Look at the light, which is called Baha'u'llah. Einstein. Do you know Einstein? Do you know Socrates? They didn't have any relationship with Baha'u'llah. Huh? How could it be? Why then do you call them divine philosopher, for God's sake? You see, what am I doing? Break some of this obstacle in your mind. Baha'u'llah means that innermost reality that exists in the universe. Baha'u'llah doesn't have a name. Baha'u'llah only appears in the world in different temples. One temple is Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, Mirza Hussein Ali. Do you worship mirrors? Mirrors. Do you know mirrors? Sonny, when you get up in the morning, you go to the mirror. Why do you go to mirror? Do you want to worship the mirror? Or do you want to look at it, see the stunning light in the mirror, and then you improve yourself? Beautiful. See now, hey buddy, in the Baha'i faith, you rarely, when they ask you, who do you believe in? You rarely hear somebody tells you, I believe in Mirza Hussein Ali. No. Why not? What is wrong? Muhammadians say, I believe in Muhammad. He wants to say, see, that is an evolution to get rid of fundamentalism. I follow the light, not the lamp. I like the sunny. not the mirror in which that sun is shining. Because all of human beings, more or less, whatever attribute that they have is a reflection of that sun. Iran, do you remember the book of certitude? That is one of the fundamental concepts. They says, why are you worshiping the mirrors? Jesus is the only way. Well, there is a terminology, Jesus Christ. Christ is eternal. Jesus was born, Jesus shall die. Muhammad was born, Muhammad shall die. Mirza Hussain Ali was born, Mirza Hussain Ali shall die. Baha'u'llah was never born. Baha'u'llah shall never die. Don't you think that changes the dynamic of fundamentalism? Follow the light rather than the lamp. This is why the Baha'is have been taught not to refer to Mirza Hussain Ali, refer to the light which shines in Mirza Hussain Ali. But look at it. Don't tell anybody, I'm just telling it to you. But that light is eternal, isn't it? It was the same light that appeared in Muhammad, wasn't it? It was the same light that appeared in Jesus. So why fundamentalism is that you lose track of the light and you become materialistic. Why? What are you talking about, Habib? I'm a spiritual. If you are a spiritual, you have to follow the spirit, not the body. Baha'u'llah is higher than the contingent reality. This is why, please pay attention, how the people become fundamentalists. You can be a Baha'i, you can be a Christian, you can become fundamentalist. Very easy. You become so convinced in your belief system that you think everybody else is wrong. Darky, you're only the sunny. Then you have to call psychologists. Because you feel isolated, you become depressed, you lose meaning. Please pay attention. As a psychologist, the people who are fundamentalists, they actually experience depression faster. Depression is one of the disorders that at least 80% of the people of the world are afflicted by it. When you are depressed, that means you are not yourself anymore. You are not yourself, that means your true self has been hidden. When you are depressed, see, depressed means something has put you down. Fundamentalism causes depression. And this is another very famous theme of Kitab-e-Khan. When you do not know where to turn for truth, when you see that the people who claim to have the truth, they actually come between you and the truth. Makes sense. So the message that I'm giving you, follow the light. But what about Muhammad, Jesus, Bob, Mirza Hussain Ali? Do you know who are they? They sacrificed everything in order to manifest that light. They suffered for it. They didn't want anybody to worship them. You see, that is very important. Jesus didn't come that I worship Jesus. He has come that I follow the light. Do you remember that passage in the New Testament? I was there before Abraham was. What is this, for God's sake? If you follow Jesus, you get into trouble with that passage. If you follow Christ, that means there is an eternal reality. You got it. So there is now I'm switching to something else. Faith, religion, they are the same thing. Let's see. Sonny, what is faith? What is religion?
For me, religion is the structure, and faith is the personal connection with that.
Very good. Hey, my friend, what Sonny said, he says you can be a religious person, but you may not have faith. Baha'u'llah. He says this is a changeless faith of God. Eternal in the past, eternal in the future. He's talking about religion, a structure, or he's talking about that eternal reality message. You see? So how can you not become fundamentalist? To look at that changeless faith. Please pay attention. Muhammad tried in Quran to convey that message to humankind. They couldn't understand him. For instance, in Quran, he says Moses was a Muslim, Jesus was a Muslim. I am a Muslim, we are all Muslims. Then he said, whosoever accepts any religion other than Islam is not acceptable. The people said, oh my God, it's a fundamentalist. Said, oh, he's talking about a structure. Sonny made it. A structure. That means anybody but Muhammad is no good. But Quran says Moses was a Muslim. But he wasn't a Muslim because structurally, no. He had his own religion. Do you see that? How can you become fundamentalist? Why do you think they killed the Baha'is in Iran? Because of this passage. Whosoever accepts any religion other than Islam is not acceptable from him. Ey Khuda margam bede Sonny. Baha'u'llah brings that passage in the first day of Rizwan in Surah Sa'ab. He says Muhammad was right. By Islam means submission to the will of God. Moses was a Muslim. Baha'u'llah is a Muslim. Moses was Baha'u'llah. Jesus was Baha'u'llah. Do you see how I break down the fundamentalism? Fundamentalism is when you become so cozy. Mine is much better. Holy Land. Holy Land? Oh my God. What is Holy Land, for God's sake? How can land be holy? This land is holy. Is Los Angeles holy? Well, I want to tell you, when you become religious, but no eternal faith, no concept of unification between your heart, your mind, your emotion, and your physical reality, you become fundamentalist. I made it very simple. You can be a Baha'i fundamentalist. So fundamentalism has nothing to do with your religious. It has to do with your orientation about reality. I actually have a book that I wrote about this. It is being published, hopefully soon. Fundamentalism, it seems to be an attitude. Please pay attention. There is only one religion. What do you mean? Because there is only one reality. So what happened? Well, there is a principle. You look like a physicist. I say it, see if I'm in a right path or not. There is a twin principle, Sonny, that operates in the world: continuity and relativity. I say it one more time. My best friend, I'm going to pick up on you. See, the world is continuous. Do you agree? Life is continuous. Do you agree? You do not need to be a Baha'i or religious. Life, don't they say when somebody gives you a hard time, you say life goes on. Don't you say that? It's a good defense against insanity, right? Life goes on. That is called continuity. Life goes on, but at the same time, you're conditioned to the circumstances that you experience life. Make sense or not, sir? See, I'm trying to get you to good places. Don't worry. We are going to go to a sunny places. See, the people, if continuity and relativity would not work together, fundamentalism takes place.
Say it one more time.
Huh?
Say that again.
I said one more time, but don't forget, they don't pay me for repeat, only they pay me for one time. See, my friend, no matter who you are an animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, human kingdom, it doesn't matter. You are confined to two principles. Life goes on, continuity, and relativity. Who disagrees with that? Nobody. When you are a little boy, life goes on, but you are confined to that childhood experience. So your mommy, your daddy doesn't feed you hamburger today. If they feed you hamburger, then the life doesn't go on, because, right, Sonny? Then you really become darky. When you are 15 years of age, Do they only give you milk? You die. You say, Mommy, and then you have created a term, abusive parents. When you dig it in, why am I abusive? Because you did not meet the age requirement. Therefore, life doesn't go on. Now look at it. This is true with our body, isn't that right? The same thing is true with our mind. The same thing is true with our spirit. We are in the realm of contingencies. We grow. We need new sets of laws, ordinances, guidance. You cannot live at the age of 15 with the requirement of the age of 10 or 5, right? So this is very simple, my friend. In science, we call it evolution. In religion, you call it revelation. Right? See, the people make things so complicated that only Baha'is understand it. Nobody. You have a common sense, you get it. And remember, religion has to be simple for a people to understand it. Right? If you really need some complicated guy to explain it, something is goofy. Right? Now, Moses, do you remember Moses? Was a good man. Do you remember? A chubby man, very. Did you meet him personally? No. Huh? Yesterday, you yourself look like a Moses a little bit. See, Moses, wow. If you ask Jews, see, even Jews got it. They say, we have nothing to do with Moses. That is a historical Moses. We believe in a cultural Judaism. Oh, really? Wow. Do you know what does cultural Judaism mean? It means we grow, we adopt, grow, we adopt. But that was the same principle, relativity, continuity. What is can Jews say, Moses is the first and the last? Oh, really? We assume it is true. Why not? Why not? Why do you bother him? So anything that is in the Bible is true, yeah, but it is contextual or not. Contextual means relative, but contextual has to be a forerunner for continuity. Life goes on, continuity. Okay, let's see. Humankind is composed of a male and a female, right? Okay. How do I have to deal with the male and a female? Are they equal? Tell the truth, nothing but the truth. What do you mean? I don't mean anything. What is written? Can be applied today. Wow, there was something else now. Please pay attention. I'm trying to really confuse you now before you can build it together. Reality of human being is based on symbols and concrete. This is why humanity discovered mathematics. Symbols. Mathematics. What is the value of mathematics? Why do you think Plato? Do you know Plato? He was a nice guy. Plato had an academy. In front of it, he said, whosoever doesn't know mathematics cannot come in. Why is that? Why he didn't say, whosoever doesn't have a religion cannot come in. Whosoever doesn't have a faith cannot come in. Why mathematics? What does math do? What is that?
It makes everything equal.
Everything beautifully said. In mathematics, there are some universal laws. There is no exception, buddy. Scientists just unravel those universal laws. They don't make it. Do you remember Newton, Sonny? Do you remember you were there with him? This poor man, little boy, was going with his grandfather in the suburbs of UK, London. Suddenly, an apple fell. You tell me, tell the truth. If the apple falls, don't you eat it? Of course, if you're hungry, you eat it, right? But he wasn't interested in that. He asked a very fundamental question from Grandpa. Why did the apple fall? What? Is your son has gone crazy? Newton, why it didn't go up? Why it didn't go south, north? Why it fell? Huh? Gravity was something that he discovered. But asking question became the basis for genius of this young man that discovered universal law. Makes sense? Do you see that? This is why whether you're a Jew, Christian, Baha'i, non-Baha'i, when you want to fall from the high rise, what do you say? You say, Ya Baha'u'llah, if you're a Baha'i. Do you know what does Ya Baha'u'llah mean? Means make me mindful of gravity, please. Because if Ya Baha'u'llah, Ya Moses, Ya Jesus, this thing doesn't do you any good. If you do not know that universal law that is operating. Make sense? So who has more faith? The one that Ya Baha'u'llah, the one who sees Baha'u'llah in these universal laws. Read some answered question, first chapter. There are some laws that the more you understand it, you will see it doesn't have any exception. Therefore, fundamentalism doesn't help you. You never pray for the universal law to be changed. Do you pray? Oh, Ahmad, please, I beg of you, make that law to change. Really? The law was generated by Ahmad, that he has to change it? Ahmad is bound by the same law. Do you see that, where the fundamentalism comes? When you do not see the reality and go with assumption, illusion. So see, relativity, continuity. Symbol, versus concrete. Wow. Holy land. That what started the whole discussion. What is Holy Land? Tell me. You have been in Holy Land. Is the land a little bit different? When you fall in the ground, you feel no pain, right? It's a holy land. When you walk, maybe Holy Land means a land with a lot of holes in it, or what is this? For God's sake, see, I'm helping you to examine these terminologies. Then you do not become fundamentalist. Why Mecca was called Holy Land? Why Akka is Holy Land? What do you mean? What is it? John, go for it. Why Holy Land? And remember, symbols, concrete, relativity, continuity, and then answer the question.
Is the place where the laws are being espoused right now, where you can find.
Hey, buddy, before you explain high level, I'm a poor man. And the people who listen, they may not believe in God. You have to somehow explain Holy Land to them, right? You say you are using two words, holy plus land. What does holy mean? My friend, what does holy mean? What is holy? What is that? Okay, hold on a second now. Don't be fundamentalist. What is not in this world divine? Everything. So what is this Holy Land business then? If every land is an expression of that creator, what is it that you suddenly came up with this terminology and then you kill people for it? Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. See, I am going to teach you. Do you remember I said, first have a courage to ask questions about the things that you think you believe in. And then you can easily distinguish between truth and fundamentalism. What's that? Hey, buddy, answer is $50 extra. But my task never has been to give an answer. Because if you understand the question, you will find answers. Now see, ask the question, because see, I'm just thinking logical. The land cannot be holy. Have you ever worshipped this land? Because if you start worshiping it, then Baha'u'llah has a tablet called Lohe Jamal. He says, Jamal, Habib, Sunny, anybody, don't act in such a manner that this earth tells you, Habib, how ignorant. You have to be beneath me. Why are you walking above me? Because of your lack of understanding. Land is a land. Doesn't he say, the world is but one country and mankind is citizen? Oh, so it seems that your Holy Land concept a little bit becomes shaky flaky, because every place in the world for him is a holy land, as long as there is holiness. What is holy? Holy means God, Jesus, Muhammad, and you even close your eyes, that means you are very spiritual if you don't close your eyes. You see, what does the word holy means? Latin. Holy, wholeness, whole, healthy. Where does he has to do anything with religion? Anything which is whole is holy. Holy means whole. So if you have any idea which is exclusive, it's not holy. We are better. We are the chosen one. Really? You are not holy. Holy land. Oh my God. How do you apply whole, healthy to holy land? Huh? So why do you use it?
We also have the Guardian's 9 concentric circles.
Now, my friend, you became religious now. See, the people who are watching this is a fireside. Right? Fireside means we put fire on the side, huh? Sight on the fire. See, you're in the fire. This is why. You have to burn with this fire for the truth shall come out. See, my message to the people who listen, those who are here or not here, think about this terminology, because this terminology can create division, exaltation, and try to find a meaning. Yes, it is true, Shoghi Effendi says it, but in what context? Context is the relativity, but he does not abolish continuity.
Raise your hand so you'll call. Raise your hand. No.
Yes.
I said the dark land became light land.
What is that?
The dark land, which it was when Baha'u'llah came, it was nothing, was the birth or dying. In the Akka, it turned from the darkness, became to light.
Okay. See, it's good. No. See, these people who listen, they say, what do you mean? You mean Akka before Baha'u'llah was nothing, and then Baha'u'llah came, it became something? But that is relative to the condition, isn't it? Right now is very good. I am trying to tell you that there is only one reality that you can say at the best. Because you consider Baha'u'llah as a universal energy, but that energy has to be revealed in the temple that you and I can relate to. And that temple happened to be in Israel. You call it Holy Land as a pointer for a further understanding. We are not saying Israel is the chosen place of God. For Baha'u'llah, the reality, Tehran, Los Angeles, New York, this is a land for God's sake. Is a human that destroys or builds a land. Baha'u'llah is there to transform the way we think, we feel, that everywhere becomes a holy land. This is why Muhammad so beautifully said it. They asked him, where is God? He says, wherever you turn is the face of God. So is the Holy Land Mecca? Or the Mecca was the place where that dawning place of the revelation declared the message. Fundamentalism appears when you miss these links. Make sense? So, I summarize now. Yes, ma'am.
So how do we address the challenges in the essence of religion? How do we, because we have to know self-realization and to abide and do with the things of religion, how do we address this challenge among the community and among
See, have what the universal laws of justice, I believe, is so timely. Have discussions, have gatherings of the people who are not only thinking like you, the people who have an opposite view than you, and develop culture of learning rather than culture of pushing. You do not meet me in order to make me a Baha'i. That is hypocrisy. That is duality. That means you think that unless I am a part of you, your crowd, I'm not a human. But this is not what Baha'u'llah says. What is teaching in the Baha'i faith? Teach. Each one teach one. What does that mean? That means take the pamphlet, go, hey, my friend, have you heard about the Baha'i faith? No, okay, here it is. Imagine if tomorrow morning, Johnny, the whole city becomes, they say, hey, I read the template, I like it, I'm a Baha'i. Oh, very good. Are you happy or you're concerned if they say that? Please pay attention. I give an example of my city, City of Angels, Los Angeles. I am a, say, drug dealer. You come and give me the pamphlet, I like it. I say, I'm a Baha'i now. Very good. So tomorrow morning, I have to make the deal with the drug. That is my life. So I meet you. You say, okay, give it to me. I say, Allah Hapa, here are the drugs. Is this the goal of the Baha'i faith? Not tie things together. We are not going to change their names. We want to change their orientation on life, thinking. Baha'i faith is about transformation of humankind. It is not about conversion solely. If everybody in the world becomes a Baha'i, what does that really mean if they are not transformed? How many millions Christian do we have? Is this what we are after? No, transformation. The word Baha'i, see, I'm challenging every word now. What does I'm a Baha'i, what does that mean? What does I am a Baha'i mean? You young man at the end. What does the word Baha'i mean? You are a follower, but if you follow Baha, that doesn't mean you're a Baha'i. You're just following. I can be a sheep, Baha'i. I just follow. Please pay attention. That was a question that came to Abdul Baha. What is Baha'i? He says Baha'i means embodiment of human perfection. Baha'i yani jame jamiye kamalat انسانی. Oh, wow. Can you be a Baha'i but not human? Please pay attention. This is why this is a challenge for religion. Come. Don't care about what do I do to other human beings. Don't mind how many people have to die because of my belief system. Baha'u'llah says, get away from this nonsense. To be a Baha'i means try to become better human being. Let your tomorrow be better than today. Doesn't he say that? How many of us, when we say Baha'i, you say, I'm a follower of Baha'u'llah. That's very praiseworthy. You are actually give a credit to the person who guide you to the way. But that doesn't mean you are in the way. Do you see the difference here? What helps you is how far you are a human. Bob. See, I quoted everybody, but I never quoted Bob. Bob has a work called The Temple of Religion, Haykaluddin. In it, he says there is only one dress, yek lebas, befitted human temple, and that is to be a human. You are a Baha'i, but you may not be human. Work on the second part, be a human. If you are a human, then you do not have prejudice, whether it is racial, whether it is gender inequality. You would not say Iran is the most holy place. No. He came that you get rid of this nonsense. Everywhere where a human being resides is holy. That is the elevation that Baha'u'llah wants us to become. There is a passage that whenever I read it, I actually understand why Mirza Hussain Ali, the dawning place, suffered a lot. He says, my only aim to be a better human being. Don't take this light. The humanity is try to be everything, but not human. Baha'u'llah wants us to be human. Because, Tolstoy, if you have a pain, that means you are alive. If you relate to the pain of others, that means you are human. Do you see that? This is why religion has a challenge. Becomes a dogma. Becomes, this is the only way. No, the only way is the truth. And truth shall reveal itself by the maturity of humankind. So please pay attention. God. God. Because if you take away God, all the stories goes away, right? Because your whole story is based on the assumption that there is a God, right? Let's see, G-O-D, right? This is how you write it. God. What does God means, my friend? I didn't say what does he do for living. I didn't say what is it. I just said, what does G-O-D mean? See, sunny, sun. Habib, friendly. God. What does God means, my friend? Jesus Christ. That is the attributes. What does God mean? But that, Jesus Christ, see, now you made me to go to Jesus. See? Unknowable essence is that means attributes are not there. Is a what does the word G-O-D means, young man? Because if you do not know what God means, what does the rest of this? But that is his job. I ask you, what is your name? You say, I'm a carpenter. I didn't ask you, what do you do for a living? G-O-D. Huh? Love is an attribute. G-O-D. Go again. See, I'm actually helping you to do one thing. Go and unravel the roots of these words. And then you will find something so beautiful. God. Good. 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 See, my friend, very simple. Don't make it so complicated. See, good. And then German, gut. English, good. American, lazy. There are one O. God is good. So everything which is good is godly. What is wrong? So the question is, can good be partial? No. Good is universal. So the God is the source of all good. You got it? Forget about his attributes, his essence. And even that is challenging. Don't tell anybody. God is unknowable essence. But do you know he's a creator, he's loving. But you told me he's unknowable essence, but you gave all those attributes about him. So it seems that you know him very well, buddy. That means you cannot define him befittingly. You cannot define good, but you manifest good. Do you see that? That is another thing for fundamentalism. This is why you cannot prove God. There is no way to prove God. Do you know why? It's very simple. Proof comes from where? Your head, your thoughts. How can we prove something which is above our mind and head? Think. Abdul Baha, some answer question. He says, he tells me, he doesn't tell you, a sleepy. He tells me, he says, Habibullah, the finest idea that you could have about God at the end is the creation of your own mind. And it's unworthy. Now you know why the scientists do not accept God. Because we have created an image of what the God is. So now humankind has become mature. They say God, the person who manifests love, who manifests understanding, is godly. So God is defined by attributes that you and I manifest in our lives. You can be non-religious, but you can be godly. And I tell you, as of experience, working with these scientists for over 38 years, they do not believe in these gods of idle fancies that religions have made up. But they believe in God. They believe in a force. For instance, Albert Einstein, he says, of course there is a God. but that is a cosmic force. And it has one language, cosmic love. How can you argue with him? But he says, no, I don't believe in this man-made definition that some of these religious followers have given us. Last but not the least, fundamentalism religion is when you forget that you have the capacity to discover the truth and you rely on somebody else to find it for you. In the past, you had clergies, you had bishop, you had priest, you had mullah, Baha'u'llah. Forget it. That doesn't mean the learned are no good. That means no learned has to tell you how to think, how to feel. You have to find out for yourself. That is another challenge to the current religious system in the world. Top-down design. The Pope said it, Christian Pope, Jewish Pope, Muslim Pope. Baha'i faith doesn't do it. Well, Shohi Effendi has a letter. It is in the order of Baha'u'llah. He says the highest body is universal laws of justice, right? He says that body is a servant. That body is a facilitator. That body is not to suppress anybody. Because there is an individual, there is a community, and there is a means of order. So as you can see, now please pay attention to this. Do you see Iran? Clergies are really harming the Baha'is. Do you agree? How do you change it? One way is you read the tablet of Ahmad. Ahmad, please remove these clergies. Really? Is that simple? You tell me, is clergy really is the matter? Or something else is the problem? You tell me. Is it in Iran, is clergy? In America, we had the same things. What is it? Baha'u'llah, ask Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah says, see, Habib, what a foolish guy you are. Habibullah, that you didn't get it. It is not clergies that's misguided the people. It is people that misguided the clergy. What? Oh my God. That is a challenge to fundamentalism. Do you see how tiny a statement? You tell me, if majority of a community is ignorant, don't you think you give birth to the abusive leaders? That's all very, very simple, Sonny. When there is no sun, there is darkness. Somebody who is a little bit more aggressive becomes your leader. How does Baha'u'llah solve it? How does Baha'u'llah solve it, John? Because see, I said, the original goes like this, if you want to know it. This poor man, it is 2 weeks he came from Iran. Would you go and sit in a Persian meeting after 2 weeks to go to Tehran? So we have to really honor him. Original is like this. اگر به ظاهر بنگری If you look at with the ordinary eye, superficial eye, اگر به ظاهر بنگری حضرات علما سبب اغفال عبادند. If you look at it superficially, emotionally, you think that clergies, the learned, have caused harm to the people. ولکن اگر فی الحقیقه ناظر باشی, if you are insightful in ibadah, it is the people who has misguided the clergy. Do you see how does he looks at it other way around? So rather than prayer, Ahmad, get rid of the clergies. No, Ahmad, make people more learned, make them more enlightened, make them more faithful to humanism. This is why in the Baha'i faith they say investigation of truth, isn't it? We say it, but ask yourself, have you really investigated the truth? Or because you were born in a certain religion, you are continuing it? Baha'u'llah wants everybody to accept that responsibility. My great-grandfather attended the presence of Muhammad, so what? Do you know, and my grandfather has a tablet from Abdul-Baha Abbas. Okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to keep honor of that, or what is it? Didn't Baha'u'llah, his own children, actually flipped? Think. This is why I say read the life of Mirza Hussain Ali and his family, his brothers. One brother faithful, two brother faithful, rest of them all went to darky, not sunny. But please pay attention. Please pay attention. So I have to be glorifying because my parents were Baha'i. Daddy, I am so happy you gave me a gift of being a Baha'i. Nobody, you got it all wrong. He gave you a gift for you to investigate whether you want to be a Baha'i or not, but Baha'i simply doesn't stop with accepting Baha'u'llah. Aqdas, we remember that Aqdas? Aqdas is do you agree is a good book? It's a simple book, good book, because it's the source of all good, right? God, your Mr. God. Not yet. What does he say? He says, whosoever accepted me, he is just fine. I don't think so. Huh? He knows better, but he says there are two duties. One, to recognize, then to abide by transformation. So, Baha'i faith is a religion? Well, if you mean it has certain doctrines, if you mean it has certain vision, yes, it is a religion. But this religion does not violate the essentials that exist in the universe. You do not say, I don't believe in science because it seems that what I believe is not really proven by science. No. You say science is respectful. let the science grow. Because on one hand, you cannot say, we believe in a harmony of religion and science. But if something became opposite to your belief system, what do? You pray for the scientist, or what do you do? See, these are where fundamentalism can be examined. So in short, if I have to summarize in 2 paragraphs, short paragraphs, religion is the most misunderstood phenomena by the humans. Fact number 1, by observation. Second, majority of religious followers do not even know what their religion is talking about. By God, it has been proven. They go by culture. They go by norms. They go by what did their daddy did, their mommy did. But rarely they said, let me read it for myself. Let me I discern it. And then, if they read Quran, they read Bible, they read Aqdas, they say, what is the requirement of the age that we live in context? And then you say, well, Muhammad in Quran said, if you marry, if you have more than one wife, is okay. You have to look at the context. That doesn't mean Muhammad was bad. That doesn't mean that you have to curse Muhammad. When you are 15 years old, do you curse your 5 years old because you were childish? The same thing. We grow. Baha'u'llah is not the end. Baha'u'llah is a culmination of the past and the forerunner for the next. Because if you believe that Baha'u'llah, Muhammad, Jesus are the last, you have disgraced human value. Humans can grow indefinitely. So, if I were you, if you are listening to this tape, ask questions. If you are a Baha'i or a non-Baha'i, I highly recommend reading Some Answered Questions by Abdul Baha Abbas. To learn questions is not bad. Don't think if somebody asks question, his faith is shaking. Maybe his faith is so strong that he is asking a question. And remember, over 20,000 tablets of Baha'u'llah, they were mostly in answer to questions. Aqdas was an answer to questions. So why do you think that the person who is a believer should not ask questions? Some people do not like questions because they are so uncertain that they are afraid that their shaky faith to become destroyed. Makes sense? And another thing, don't believe in religion because of fear. Only love. Only love. God is love. Gandhi, God doesn't have any religion. Be godly, manifest love. I quote this passage of Abdul Baha. Some people say I am a Jew. Another person says I am a Christian. I am a Muslim. I am a Baha'i. Abdul Baha. Be a human. That means Religion is a means, is not the end. When religion became the end, then humanity becomes the means and abuse takes place. Make sense? Any question before we go home? Yes.
It was so wonderful to be encouraged, to think, to analyze, and I love it. I have a question. You gave an example that for Christian talk, whatever says they obey, and Baha'is have to think. I have a question because as the human being, when I analyze, it can happen that something that universal laws of justice says doesn't align with my analysis. But I have to say, no, I am wrong, and it's like Christian people that obey Pope, I have to obey.
See there?
So it's the same thing.
No, see, that's a very good. I appreciate your courage, and we have to allow these things to happen. First of all, you always can ask question from the house. Remember, when the command comes down, if you are a passive, you say, okay, I abide. If you really want to understand that, you have questions. Sit down and ask questions. But ask in the spirit of honesty, love, and respect. I always recommend you put the picture of Abdul-Baha, if you are a Baha'i, the picture of truth, Son of Reality in your heart, and write the letter, and the house will answer you. It is not one-way road, but always remember, what they say, they, in their estimation, whatever they write is what the majority of the community needs. But that doesn't mean that if you have a reservation, you have to feel duality with yourself. Answer them. Ask them. They will correspond with you. For instance, I give you an example. The universal laws of justice, few years back, with their wisdom, they recognize majority of the Baha'is require a means, knowledge and insight to go and talk to the masses. They came out with what is called institute process. Some people in the community, they said, no, but we now find out they didn't understand the wisdom that the house had. They didn't say deepening is no good. They didn't say Fireside is no good. But some people, please pay attention, they took it, they said, this is the way, fundamentalism. So ask questions. Remember, the people have different needs. The people understand reality from different perspectives. As long as you do not think your understanding is the finest, you're okay. Unity in diversity in its application means we are different in our understanding. The house has two main responsibilities according to its constitution: integrity of the cause and unity of their followers. Certain things that Habib may not fathom, it is Habib.
Exactly. It's mine.
But that doesn't, No, it doesn't mean I am stupid. That doesn't mean I'm ignorant, because then it violates another principle, nobility of individual. No. Sometimes an individual who is a little bit more insightful has to let go for the benefit of the community. That is called the mystery of sacrifice. See, all of these terminologies have to be examined. You have to have circles to say, what does sacrifice mean? If I give something to John, but inwardly I am unhappy, is that sacrifice? No. So the answer to your question is no. If you have a question, if you have a concern, don't say I'm a dummy, I'm ignorant. No. Say, I want to understand the wisdom, and I understand another principle. Individual, community, and institution have to work together. Therefore, I want to improve my understanding that I would not have internal dissonance. That is a key issue. Anyway, thank you very much. Yes?
I would say everything is serious. Would you recommend that every day we should say the obligated prayer as is written by Baha'u'llah? The obligated prayer would be a medicine to our soul and our spirit, to our body. So therefore, when we start the day, we will have a right path to choose. So if we are doing something, we would not be fundamentalists, we would be more human.
See, consider every command that Baha'u'llah has, whether it is obligatory prayer, it is fasting, as a means for transformation and enlightenment. You read obligatory prayer, and in every line there is energy that wants to create in you. But if somebody says, I read it because he says it, I don't believe in it though. I read it because I want to keep track of my duty. I read it, Baha'u'llah, don't forget. And I even didn't read the short one. I did the medium and a long one. And if you really want to be a fundamentalist, do all the three together. But you do all the three. But if it doesn't impact you personally, if it doesn't create peace within you, if it doesn't improve your relationship with your family, with your neighbor, with those that you consider an enemy, remember, do you know when you really understand the impact of your prayers? When you meet or hear something which really bothers you, how do you deal with those people? Do you curse them? Do you wish death for them? Or do you wish enlightenment and peace and happiness for them? That is what the Baha'i faith is all about. Make sense? This is why some people may call it religion, some people may call it a faith, some people may call it a movement. But whatever it is, it has only one aim: to create a happy, fruitful, creative individuals, vibrant community, and the institutions that are collaborating with them. They are not commanding, they are not controlling, because that was the challenge of the religions of the past. House of Justice is a vehicle for unity. It cannot create disunity. Make sense? Thank you and have a good evening. What is that?
So,
Efrat Jarawi.
quick announcement, everyone. So tomorrow evening and the following day, we'll be having another program here at the Baha'i Center. So tomorrow, we'll have a program in the Farsi language. It'll be first 7 p.m. dinner, followed by around 7:45, we should begin with the program in Farsi. So for all of you who are here, we welcome you. Perhaps we'll have some of our Farsi-speaking friends that can also translate to you in English. Finglisi, yes, there we go. So with that being said, we also have another program on Sunday morning following the Sunday devotions at 10 a.m. That will conclude at 11 a.m. We will have a beautiful program. Oh, I'm hearing there's no devotion? Oh, never mind. Sorry about that. Scratch that. So at 11 a.m., no devotion prior. Sorry, everyone. 11 a.m., we'll be having the program, another topic. And Jeremiah, can you tell me the topic again? It's sourcing from the Secret of Divine Civilization, another work of Abdul-Baha. As Jeremiah pulls it up, that program will be from 11 till noon. Following that, from noon to 1, we'll have a beautiful lunch and company. And as was mentioned, we will have a Race Amity Conference here at the Baha'i Center. That will begin around what time? 2 p.m. It'll proceed until 5 p.m. Am I correct? From 2 to roughly 4:35. And all are welcome. We welcome you all to join, as it will be a very scintillating conference. One last thing. Tomorrow, during the day, at Carlos's house, we'll have a session at 2 p.m. until about 3, and we welcome you there. So just contact us for details to get to his home. So what's the topic again on Sunday? So the topic on Sunday at 11 a.m. is the Baha'i perspectives on the current world crisis and its remedies. So we welcome you for